If you are a homemaker who experiences chronic fatigue, stress, or anxiety, or if you have chronic ailments and illnesses, then today's video is for you. Hi homemakers, my name is Kiri with the Transformed Homemakers Society, and my mission is to help homemakers go from overstimulation and chronic stress to a peaceful and thriving home so that they can serve their families and the Lord. Over the years, I've had my own major transformation in my homemaking, going from overstimulated, highly sensitive, and chronically stressed to cool, calm, collected, and unbelievably fulfilled in my role. Now I help other homemakers have their own transformations. If you're interested in working with me, then please check out my free workshop. The link is down below. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 4 habits that I started in order to heal my overactive nervous system, otherwise known as limbic system dysfunction. Then for each habit, I'll tell you how I practically lived them out. There are so many habits that I did to heal my limbic system, but here are just a few. I created more margin in my day and I started doing less. Yep, that means I accomplished less in a day too, but it helped my nervous system to calm down and stop being so frantic. Related to this, I began to literally move more slowly. Rather than constantly rushing around, I now purposely slow down my movements in order to tell my brain that there's no rush, no need to panic. This is a continuous reminder to my brain that everything is all right and there's plenty of time to get everything done. And if I don't get my tasks done, everything's still going to be okay. This second healing habit I started in order to calm down my nervous system is I began to really renew my mind. No, but seriously, like I put in the work to renew my mind. For one thing, I made Bible and prayer time a priority, and I spent much more alone time with God. This didn't always look like, sitting on the couch with a cup of coffee, reading my Bible and journaling or praying, although I do this every morning. But along with that, I made it a habit to put my phone away, and I would go out on early morning walks where I'd pray the entire time for like 2 miles or more. Or instead of, turning on a podcast while doing the dishes or folding laundry, I'll pray and just be in the presence of God. Another thing I did to renew my mind was I removed negative thoughts and replaced them with truth. I would intentionally disrupt my negative thought patterns and replace them with what God thinks about them. For example, my kids are being so annoying. They're not letting me get anything done. So I would disrupt this thought using techniques that I created, and then I would think about what God would think about that situation. For example, the situation that I just gave, I would instead think, actually, my kids are giving me an opportunity to disciple them and train them in this moment. And that's my top priority. That's what God thinks about the situation. So when you are removing a thought from your brain, you have to replace it with something. That's where a lot of people go wrong, is they just try to disrupt these thoughts and get them out of their brain, but you have to replace them with the truth. And where do we find our truth? From the Word of God. Okay, this is where the work comes in though. You have to have great self-control and discipline in order to change your thinking like this. But God created our brains to be plastic, and that means moldable, meaning we get to change the way that they function and the way that they fire. So you just have to know how to be disciplined enough to do it, and that's the key. In my course, I actually provide you with the very same techniques that I used and still use to this day to retrain my brain into right thinking. Okay, the third habit I started doing to calm my nervous system was to weave pockets of regulation throughout my day. So sometimes this looked like, and still to this day looks like, doing, Christian meditation or visualization. And sometimes it just looks like sitting outside and doing some deep breathing. Also, I got really serious about self-care and I prioritized daily self-care. In fact, multiple things throughout the day that would contribute to my self-care. Things that just really brought me joy are what I would count as self-care. And I still do all these things to this day. So what this does is it gives my nervous system a chance to calm down several times a day. So I'm giving myself multiple opportunities per day to put my body into rest and digest mode, which is when it can heal itself. It also tells my brain that I am safe and it doesn't have to go into fight or flight mode. The key is to work with your body to know the best times to weave pockets of regulation into your day. You probably already know when your most triggering times of day are or your most symptomatic times of day are. So just try to catch yourself before those times. Okay, the next habit that I started to calm down my nervous system was to stop focusing so much on the pain that I was experiencing. Now, if you're in pain, then you know how hard it can be to just stop thinking about the pain. But I trained myself to stop thinking things like, oh, how long is this pain gonna last? Last time this happened to me, it lasted X amount of time. I wonder if it's gonna last that long this time. Or, oh no, last time I had this situation, it turned into XYZ, etc. When you're in chronic pain, this is where your brain tends to go, and it tends to think these thoughts. And it's that kind of thinking that perpetuates the entire issue even more. The same can be said for CFS, which is an acronym for chronic fatigue syndrome, which I really don't like that term, but anybody who is chronically fatigued knows how hard it can be to stop obsessing over when you're going to get rest next. I will say that I'm one of the lucky ones, and just 1 month into my healing journey with Christian brain rewiring, this started feeling better. My CFS started feeling so much better. I had so much more energy. I remember one morning I actually woke up my kids early so that my family and I could go on this beautiful morning walk. And I'm telling you guys, I never would have done that before. I was just simply too exhausted and I was just plain surviving. So I needed all the rest that I could get, and I obsessed about when I was going to get that rest next. In my course, I have specific techniques for each of these habits, and I use Christian brain rewiring and home management systems to transform your homemaking from drudgery to perfect peace. I provide you with a Christian brain rewiring formula, simplified homemaking rhythms. I help you create your own family vision, culture, and unique homemaker qualities, and tons more. If this is something that you feel would be a blessing to you, I hope that you would consider taking my free workshop using the link below. It's my 5-step framework for overwhelmed and overworked homemakers. Just click the link below to sign up. So what stood out to you most today? Was it to create more margin in your day and slow down, or to renew your mind and spend more quiet time in prayer with God? Was it to weave pockets of regulation throughout your day? Or finally, to stop focusing on your pain so much? Let me know in the comments below. And your homemaker homework for today is to pick one of these habits that resonated with you the most and implement it into your week. Let me know in the comments below which ones you're going to be working on this week.